Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that can save your app from a hidden performance killer. So picture this, you're fetching a batch of records and processing them one by one. Sounds normal, right? But here's the twist. JPA quietly keeps every fetched record in something called the persistence context, which means all of them are held in memory. Now imagine you're processing thousands, or even millions, of records. Memory usage just keeps going and if you don't clean it up, your app could get slow, or worse, crash completely. So what's the smart way out? Simple. Once you're done processing, just clear the persistence context. Basically, you're telling JPA, hey, I'm done with these records, you can forget them now. And today we're going to learn exactly how to do that, how to clear all this stored data from the persistence context using EntityManager.clear. Let's jump into it. Alright. In this video, we're not going to process any big batch of records. Instead, we'll just do a simple demo to see what really happens when we call the clear method, and how it clears the persistence context. Let's start by creating a new API endpoint. Inside this API, we'll first call findByEmployeeID and log the result. So just follow along and check my screen. Next, we'll also fetch student detail, and just like before, we'll log the result to see what we get. After that, we'll call both methods a second time. Now here's what you should expect. The very first time we fetch the data, JPA goes straight to the database and grabs it. At the same time, it stores that data inside the persistence context, basically, its internal cache. But the second time we fetch the same data, JPA doesn't bother hitting the database again. Instead, it just returns the cached object from the persistence context, which means no SQL query runs at all. Now let's start the application. Alright, now let's hit the API. Alright, open your console logs with me. See here, the very first SQL query runs for fetching the employee data. And the corresponding data is logged. Next up, the first query for fetching student details also runs, and its data is logged too. Now here's the interesting part. When we call the fetch methods again for both employee and student, no SQL queries are fired this time, but the data is immediately printed. That means JPA fetched the data directly from the persistence context, the internal cache, without hitting the database again. Now, before we do the second fetch, we're going to clear the persistence context by calling EntityManager.clear. Let's create a new method called clear inside our demo Entity Manager repository. Inside this method, we'll simply call EntityManager.clear. This removes all the managed entities from the persistence context. Basically, it clears the cache. This is super useful when you're processing millions of records in batches. Fetching data repeatedly can cause memory issues. So calling clear helps manage memory efficiently and keeps your app running smoothly. Alright, now let's call our clear method just before the second fetch of both employee and student. This will clear the persistence context, so when we fetch again, JPA has to hit the database to get fresh data. Now, let's start the application. Alright, now let's hit the API again. Check out the console logs with me. See here, the first employee query runs and the data is logged. Next, the first student query fires and its data is logged as well. Now look closely. When we fetch the employee and student again, fresh SQL queries run just like the first time. That's because after calling clear, the Entity Manager removes all entities from its persistence context. So the second fetch is treated as a completely new request, forcing JPA to hit the database again. Alright, quick recap. Today we learned how JPA caches entities in the persistence context to avoid unnecessary database calls. And we saw how calling EntityManager.clear clears this cache, forcing fresh data fetches from the database. This is super helpful to manage memory efficiently, especially when working with lots of data. In the next video, we'll dive into how to execute raw SQL queries using the Entity Manager, so don't miss it. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. See you in the next one.